The atrocity in Gaza has occupied me for 3 weeks. I already knew that American Israelis and leaders like Biden and Pelosi really couldn't give two, about genocide because I investigated the AIDS attack and was able to put together from the history of what Reagan pulled in Dealey Plaza and mirrored it in his film The Killers. How Clint Eastwood and his gang pretended to kill John Lennon and pulled a Houdini called Double Fantasy and dared me to try to wriggle out of their claims that I could have saved him by having their attorneys, who were Jewish Israeli Bibi Netanyahu people from the University of Pittsburgh Federal Emergency Management Agency, who positioned me in Foggy Bottom outside the White House. Reagan came out the night he claims that he was shot at, and they gave me a brochure that says there's no such thing as objective reality, only what the jury believes. The jury believes Clint Eastwood's, and there was a smoking gun because they got the queers to go along with the people who assassinated their culture, and it's really too bad that so much energy was spent trying to persuade them because we'll always know better with the Africans. But all the evidence shows I've been telling the truth. The supernova rave was targeted by both sides in this surrogate conflict of genocide, in which they made such a joke out of me that they could get away with doing this in broad daylight. Now Putin decries the screams of blood-curdling threat that come out of the margins of America's mental health towards Russia. And that's nice and everything, Vlad, but you're encouraging the responsible party, Trumpy tune, and that leaves a lot to be explained. Now, as for Hamas's attack, I'd rather it was pretty grisly, and I'm sure that's very horrible. And I certainly would not have wanted to be there, and I certainly wish that Israel had not incited this. But we see from their genocidal tactics and their glee and massacre of children what provoked the incident, or at least stage managed the claim that it was provoked. When I say stage managed the claim that it was provoked, we don't know really. The masses in Arabia are not really all that well loved by the Saudi Arabians. We saw that from Arab Spring. And really sideline dolts like Obama, who got positioned into place to pirouette and wiggle from their platforms of drone war, don't have much grasp over what it takes to be a leader of consciousness in the world. I'm not trying to promote myself, I'm just making an observation. So there's questions as to how Egypt warned Israel a couple of days before it happened, how the surveillance films were completely ignored. Israel, Uvalde, they barely responded. It took them 7 hours to get to a 5 minute by helicopter massacre, almost as though they wanted to give Hamas all day to get it on at the supernova, which was moved into place 2 days at the time of the Egypt's warning. It was moved. So it serves again as a metaphor for the prior genocide, which was the AIDS attack, which of course we know, we from the being mentations of the fulminators is fundamentalist in its most supreme. So anyway, I don't think very highly of the claim that Russia's intelligentsia is all innocence in the matter of Gail Burstyn. I really don't. You know, if you didn't know, you didn't know, as I didn't know until I did. And the moment I did, I began talking. Everybody else is, ooh, Nicky Chops. Clint Eastwood has a lucrative contract for somebody who could say queer ball. When he was 15, did something irregular like. See, they constructed a persona by forces impinging on the persona's experience using a nerve agent implant for mind control because Hollywood wanted a real world story. And when you look at the poacher's expertise, it's counterfeiters back in Fayoum in the age of the great dictators when D.W. Griffith was smuggling with Mussolini and these guys got liked Houdini and so on. You realize that I was not the only, they were making almost a tit for tat. We'll take a human who's real and turn him into a fiction. We'll take a fiction and may bring it to life. And this was the essential challenge of double fantasy. Switcheroo all the way across the madcap. And Clint Eastwood is at root as much a war criminal as Bibi Netanyahu. And that's the reason why they're riding high, is because them big, big names in Hollywood